Josh Allen here with Bucs Report. I'm here with new Buccaneers quarterback, Reid Sinnett. First of all, congrats on signing with the Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent.
Thank you.
What was that process like, and how much communication did you have with the Bucs prior to the draft, and what made you choose this team?
I had a couple meetings with Coach Christensen and, heard from scouts and things like that. Throughout the day or leading up to the week of, I had talked to my agent as well as Coach Christensen, and they were saying that they might draft me in the 6th or 7th round if, things played out well. So I was really optimistic going into the draft, and especially when I found out that the Gronk trade ended up having a 7th round pick as well as Tristan Wirfs going at 12 or 13 and then getting another 7th round pick for that. So I kind of was, high on, thinking that I might get drafted by Tampa Bay. And then I had some conversations with other teams, like Kansas City might have, had talked about drafting me late, and a couple other teams. But, the day of, I was just kind of getting antsy and, waiting for that 6th or 7th round to finish up, I guess. And my agent told me that they weren't going to draft a quarterback, or Tampa Bay was going to draft a quarterback, kind of hang tight. And I was a little bit doubtful of it working out like I wanted it to. And he said, do you want to take any other offers? And I was like, no, let's go to Tampa. And he's like, all right, great. And he called me like 5 minutes later with the contract. And I was ecstatic. I barely got out of thank you and was pretty much in tears.
That's awesome.
So it was really exciting.
That's great. Now, you didn't start until your senior year. What was it like not getting that opportunity, and how did you handle it? And then how do you think that will help you translate into the NFL?
Yeah, so I didn't start until I was a senior. And the kid who played in front of me is pretty much an all-time record holder in our conference and our school, and was a 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, he's a stud. Yeah. And so I was frustrated by that because I really thought that I was better. And he's one of my best friends. I'd say that if he was sitting here. And I always tried to prepare like I was the starter in the case that he got hurt or wasn't playing well. And you never root for that, but I was ready for it. And I think it's the same thing now that teams saw that as a pro for me, where I was ready to go and I was prepared. And then when I did get a chance to start, I think I took advantage of that opportunity. So I definitely think it was something that'll correlate to the NFL, where if I'm the 2 or the 3, and Tom Brady's the best to ever do it. So when he's around, being prepared if not feeling well a week, or he needs some time late in the season or something like that, and being ready to play, I think was something that was appealing.
Perfect. And you mentioned, when you finally got on the field, you threw for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, including one to yourself. Take me through that play.
Yeah, so it was kind of a design to throw it to my buddy Mikey, and it was pretty much a shallow, and everybody else was blocking. And I threw it to him, and it just got batted right back in my chest. And usually you're taught to just knock it down. But out of the corner of my eye, I just kind of saw that lane, and I caught it and took off, and then there was nobody there. I was hoping I'd maybe get the first down or have to beat somebody for the first down. And it's funny, if you watch it, there's no way that if I just took off and ran that it would have been so open. It was like the throw that pulled everybody that way. Yeah. And I ended up scoring just untouched. And it was kind of a weird, just a weird play in general. Yeah. And I was joking with my buddies, I was hoping I'd have a receiving touchdown on a trick play or something. I never thought I'd throw it to myself, but it was kind of a cool weekend after listening to people talk about it.
Yeah, you don't see it often. It was definitely a cool play. So I know you grew up a Peyton Manning fan, but how excited are you to come in and learn from arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, in Tom Brady? And have you heard from him? Any communication?
I haven't heard from him yet. I'm sure he's kind of in the same boat as I am, trying to learn the offense and get accustomed to everything, and obviously meeting all the guys. Yeah. But I mean, it's unbelievable just to sit in that room and listen to him and Coach Christensen and Coach Arians talk about football is something I would pay to do, and they're going to pay me to be in those meetings. So, I couldn't be happier with the situation.
And on that, just to echo it, how much of your decision on coming here was based on studying under Byron Leftwich and Clyde Christensen and Bruce Arians? Obviously, their history with quarterbacks such as Luck, Manning, Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer, and with other teams potentially offering maybe a better path to be a starter, what drew you there?
I think it was definitely just the things you just said. Coach Christensen and I were on he's called me and he's like, our scouts like you. I just wanted to meet you and talk to you for 10 minutes, and we're on a FaceTime and ended up talking for like 45 minutes just about weird connections we had. And I grew up a Colts fan, so we're talking about, being around Peyton Manning and then he went to the University of North Carolina, and my dad played basketball for Coach Williams, who's the head coach there now. Yeah. So we had these weird connections, and we ended up just sitting and talking for a long time. And I think we kind of just had this connection right away. And I think that made it that much more appealing, whereas, I don't think that's always – even just interacting with people on a daily basis, you don't have that happen all the time. Exactly. So that was really special to me.
Yeah, that's really nice. Now, coming to Tampa, where you do have an established starter, how do you see yourself contributing in the quarterback room and just, as a player in general?
I think it's things that you can do behind the scenes that you would never be recognized. You don't cause any problems. I'm studying. I'm ready. If Tom or whoever the other, if Blaine and Ryan need something and, I'm they're doing media stuff and I'm running to grab food, you need anything before we go to meetings. And, I don't think it has to be like, being somebody's servant or anything like that, but you can ease the stress of other guys and that helps them play better. And, always being prepared. And if, I'm the practice squad guy, the 2, the 3, I've joked that, if Tom doesn't have a good camp, maybe they throw me out there. But I mean, like all those things, I think if you're just prepared and ready to compete all the time, you're going to elevate the play of other guys. But also being a good teammate goes such a long way.
Absolutely, absolutely. What would you say that your strengths are as a quarterback, and who do you try to model your game after?
Well, I mean, I grew up, like I said, trying to do everything that Peyton Manning was doing. And the way that he prepared, the way he commanded the line of scrimmage, and all those things are the things that I emulated all the time. And, he's making Omaha calls and random stuff. And, as a 10-year-old, I'm asking our coaches if I can just make dummy calls. And they're like, what are you talking about? But now as, playing in a pro-style offense in San Diego, it was making sure that everybody knows what's going on and understanding the whole offense enough that you can make adjustments on the fly. And I think that's the thing that set me apart. Even in this, draft class, we had a very complex offense, and understanding that as a whole was difficult. And it's translating a ton already into how we're talking about protections and things like that other guys probably weren't exposed to.
Exactly. A pro-style offense like that can definitely help with the transition. How have you gotten into the playbook already, and how have the virtual meetings been going? Have you guys been doing any classroom work? Has it mostly been workouts?
Most of the stuff we've done, I've had meetings every day, and it's scheme meetings and then rookie, introduction meetings and stuff like that. And then I've been lucky enough to have a facility I can still work out at. Got some buddies that are willing to catch balls for me, so I haven't really skipped a beat besides the fact that I wish we were taking, live reps in practice or walkthroughs and things like that. But making the most out of the situation, and I think the meetings are going well. And it's nice, too, that, I might have a couple months to have nothing else besides focus on football rather than maybe getting thrown into a rookie minicamp, taking all the reps. And, with other guys that are still learning the offense, it becomes difficult. If somebody's misaligned, then, it kind of throws everybody else off. So I'm trying to look at it as a positive for sure rather than let it be a negative.
Exactly. A little bit more time to get really into that playbook, so then when you do get on the field, it can translate over.
Yep.
So you mentioned, you have a facilities, but what have you been doing to keep yourself in shape during quarantine? And most importantly, how have you been keeping yourself entertained?
Yeah. So lifting-wise, I was able in San Diego up until the week of the draft. I had another friend, Teddy Anderson, who provided me with a gym, and it really, really helped out. And I was lifting with Ross Dwelly, who's a tight end with the Niners that went to University of San Diego. And then since I've been home, again, a private facility where I'm able to lift and get everything I need to done. May have jumped a couple fences to do some conditioning, but I don't think the AD at my high school seen me yet, so hopefully I can keep avoiding that.
Yeah, what can you do, right?
But in the meantime, I'm a huge movie fan. I love TV, so I've tried to watch some classics and things like that I might have missed out on as a younger kid, but that's one of my favorite things to do to kind of get my mind off of football is watch a 2-hour movie and kind of delve into that and then get back to it.
Any binge shows you've been doing, or The Last Dance? Have you been watching that?
Love The Last Dance. I love watching Michael Jordan talk about how competitive he is. Yeah. And then I watched Dave, which is a TV show on Hulu about the rapper Lil Dicky, and I think that it's hilarious. Yeah. And then my favorite film since quarantine started has been Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It's a French film, and it's really, really artsy, but I loved it.
I'll have to check it out.
So all of those things are, I'm kind of all over the place with what I like to watch, but I love those especially.
Little Tiger King too?
Yep, Tiger King. One of those shows that I watched the first episode. I was like, I'm not watching this, and then 8 hours later, I'm done with it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So just to wrap things up here, what's something the Bucs fans should know about you and that you're going to bring to this team?
I'm a small school guy, and I'm from a small town originally, and San Diego is a big place, but I went to a smaller school, and I think my skill set can translate, and I'm excited to be a part of this team and help everybody win. And I think there's always fans that are like, who is this guy? And I kind of hope that there's a Thursday night or Sunday night football game where I'm starting, and everybody's like, who the heck is Reid Sinnett? And I can go out and impress some people, and but I'm going to do anything I can to help this organization win. Whatever that role is, I'm going to help make it happen.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time. I wish you nothing but the best of luck this season, and I can't wait to see you out on the field.